Hello and welcome to Women's Biz Podcast. I'm Annie Gibbins, founder and CEO of Women's Biz Global, and I invite you to get comfortable and listen in on candid conversations I have with fascinating women from around the globe. Business leaders, entrepreneurs, humanitarians, athletes, and a whole lot of regular people. Tune in as they let their guard down and open up on aspects of their business and life journey, how they measure success, and what they have learned along the way. These conversations aim to inspire you to embrace opportunities and possibilities beyond the limits of your imagination. Reclaim your power, strength, and vulnerability. Stand in your truth and propel yourself towards the life you dream to live. Hello and welcome to Women's Biz Podcast, our wonderful listeners. Oh, we so love having you joining us. I have the pleasure today of hosting Kate Heartsong, who is an author, a speaker, a coach, a teacher, a Reiki Master, and she has an amazing journey she's going to share with us today that's got real profound wisdom and transformative insights. So oh my goodness, you're going to just love diving into this conversation. She's got unique gifts and they lie in receiving profound wisdom through meditation, coupled with resilience, forged through overcoming childhood trauma, life experiences, and education. Oh my goodness, the whole cocktail there. And when you hear Kate's story, you're going to go, wow. And it's also going to bring up thoughts and feelings of your own journey. And I think that's such an important thing to do in our lives, to actually address rather than suppress. So let's dive into welcoming Kate today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Annie. It is such a joy to be here. I'm really looking forward to our time together. It is such a joy to be on your show and very excited to be here, Annie. Thank you.
Oh, such a joy to have you on the program, Kate. So I'd love you to start sharing your journey. I understand that you had very low self-esteem, high issues with shame. You also had hearing loss. It's not the normal combination to go, gee, I want to actually end up being an empowerment, confidence coach, inspiring others. So would you like to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. I find it really does help to have people understand where am I coming from and what does give me so much passion. And just a brief story of my background. I was like any toddler. I was a curious toddler at the age of 2. I actually fell out of a window, about a story and a half high, fell down on a patch of grass. Thankfully, on either side there was cement, but I landed on the grass, my mom told me. And as a result, I actually lost most of my hearing, very severe loss in my right and moderate in my left. And they didn't know that until I just started. They noticed I was not speaking as a little child and then decided to check into it and realize there's a nerve loss. It led me to, great shame and feeling low self-esteem. I really thought that I was a mistake. I thought that I wasn't worthy. And for many years, even though my parents did the best they could, it was just not a good environment for me to feel good about myself. I was embarrassed to tell people I had a hearing loss. Back then, they didn't have the hearing aid technology as they have today. So I went through my grade school and middle school and high school without hearing aids. And some people thought I was stuck up because I wouldn't answer them. But it was because I didn't hear. There were some dynamics with my family, difficult situations that contributed to the whole sense of low self-esteem, great shame. And it was difficult. I didn't have many friends. I grew up thinking again that I must be a mistake. And in my 20s, I started realizing in college, there are people out there who are happy. I witnessed people around me that seemed to have a light energy and joy And I had been a lot of frustration and anxiety. And I started realizing I could make a change. I am not a victim. I actually can create positive change. So that was the start of my journey of many years of personal self-help books, psychotherapy, attending a lot of workshops, doing a lot, really taking the bull by the horns. And over time, I started building a higher sense of self and self-esteem, and started realizing just like anyone else, I am worthy. And I see myself just equal to everyone else. No one is better or worse than anyone else. We're all actually the same. But what about our belief or our opinion or perspective about ourselves? This makes a big difference. As a result of all of the transformation and the many life experiences and the insights, I have so much gratitude and so much passion to help others to know it is possible to make positive change. I'm living proof. It's like I was an entirely different person back then, very, very different than I am today. So I am more in my power, and this allows me to give and to serve to others. And so this is why it's so near and dear to my heart to do the work I do. You know, as a coach and as an author, I am just very motivated to let people know they too can make positive change. It may not happen overnight. It didn't for me, but it is possible. And so this is my desire to just encourage that in people and to help them recognize their brilliance.
Yeah, because we all have brilliance. We all have the same, as you said, the same value, the same worth. It's
Yeah.
just that we often don't feel that because we measure that worth against what we see in others or what we tell ourselves is the benchmark to be able to receive that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. You must look back and that, that light bulb moment, which I think you said was at age 20, pre 20 and after 20. And, it can be just such a different person. But that's it. You can start that change at any moment in time
Yes.
of your life 20, 30, 50,
Yeah.
80. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. Now,
Yeah.
you had that light bulb moment, though, of hello, I'm looking around now. Everyone is unique, everyone is different, everyone has worth. And I need to start tapping into that rather than my lack. So you did a massive shift in a moment. And I know a lot of people do that, but then you've also said it didn't happen overnight. You've gone through a whole lot of different paths. And was there one path that you can share that was better for you? Was it studying others, or was it more learning about yourself, or was it actually knowledge? Like it's usually a combination, and we'll all be different and unique in the way we have these transformations. But when you look back now on that time of just learning to transform, where did you get the most value?
Excellent question. And I do like the way I'm going to say first, I love what you said. Each person has their own journey, their own experience. For me, I think the thing that helped me the most was knowing others believed in me. I was able to meet a key person at this one particular workshop in my early 20s, a weekend retreat. And she had given me an incredible insight and an exercise, amazing exercise that really maybe started anchoring me even deeper to my commitment to working on myself. And the exercise was to look in the mirror and look in your eyes and really honor yourself and just stay with you as long as you can, looking into the soul of your eyes. So I did that. And I will say it was difficult. I have experience with other clients of mine as a confidence coach. I have they have experienced the same that I did initially. And that is, to my surprise, initially, I could not look into my own eyes for more than 1 or 2 seconds. But
Mm.
yes, it was like uh, shame and acknowledgement. How can I do that? But I stuck with it. I was determined because I knew from my experience of others around me that I could be happy. And I started believing that. So I think that also helped, having the true belief and the strong commitment and dedication to making a change. This is what really helped. You know,
Mm.
Annie, when we're in great pain, when I was in such great pain and I didn't want to go through this anymore, and I witnessed others around me who were happy, that was such a strong impetus for me to move forward and to make that change and to be committed. So that I continued with that mirror exercise and continued doing that for many years. And now I can look in my eyes for many seconds.
Mm.
So, it's just a matter of how much am I willing to believe that I really am worthy? I think that
Mm.
was another thing that really anchored me into my commitment to myself.
Mm. I love that. I love that exercise. And for many reasons, for many people, it is just overwhelming. It's just too confronting. It's something that I just can't look at myself in that way. I can't be intent in that way, and it's too much. But like all moments of change or intention to change, it requires holding yourself in that uncomfortable place and
Oh,
then just
yeah.
pushing,
Oh,
pushing and pushing, right? And so then it might be 2 seconds, but then it'll end up being longer and longer and longer. And in that discomfort at your own timing and ability, then comes a real transformation because you'll learn so much about yourself. So
yeah.
while many of our listeners will go, yeah, that's me, these confidence tips, I suppose, to actually become confident. And I love your transformation because it's from the person who was the least confident to just
Thank
so
you.
confident. There's got to be some practical tips and tools that you use with individuals, particularly struggling with their self-esteem, that will really help, just catapult them in their
Yeah.
forward momentum towards being more confident because it's going to
Mhm.
transform their lives.
Yes. And I will say there are so many tools, so many tips, and I'll share two more here. I will also say it's so important to be committed to continue doing it. Building confidence does not happen overnight. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's not
Mm.
anything that, oh, gee, I wish I had a light switch and we could turn it on. Now I'm all confident. That would be
Yes.
wonderful. Part of this, though, I feel the depth of personal expansion is to stick with it and to just experience that unique process that each of us go through. One excellent, very simple but excellent technique is every morning and every night if possible, but at least even just once a day, write down or think about 3 things that you can acknowledge yourself for.
Mm.
What this does is it helps you to see the positive and to focus on what is working in your life.
Mm.
Our acknowledgments don't have to be big, they can be small little things. For example, the acknowledgement of getting out of bed. For some people, it may not always be an easy thing to do. Or
Mm.
showing up at the job that maybe isn't right for you, but you need the income. Acknowledge yourself for continuing to show up for work. Acknowledging yourself for listening to a friend. Making a meal for yourself or a family. Acknowledging yourself for the willingness to do the work. Acknowledge yourself for acknowledging yourself. But
Yeah.
there is a lot of depth of positivity when we can acknowledge ourselves.
Mm.
So I encourage that. My clients always love this exercise, and it's simple. Do it
Yes.
also with compassion and be easy on yourself while you're doing it. If you
Mm.
think, oh, there's nothing I can acknowledge myself for, go to the basics.
Mm.
Acknowledge yourself for showing up here on your wonderful podcast, Annie, for doing
Mm.
the self work, listening to other podcasts, listening to a friend. There's so much we can acknowledge ourselves for. And
There really is. Yeah, it's unlimited. It's unlimited. And that's the biggest lesson, I think, for those listening in who go, yeah, normally I don't do anything amazing. I think it's getting a different perspective of what is amazing. You don't have to be amazing. You just, it's actually just being you, showing up as you. And that's it. Even listening in on a podcast, you're actually showing that you are keen to, nurture yourself, grow yourself, listen to others, other wisdom. It's unlimited, just doing something kind for a neighbor. All of these little things. I like what you said there, go back to basics, because you will be blown away by the list of, you'll end up looking at your list of 10 things, go, you know what, I'm actually a pretty nice person.
yes. So well said, Annie. So well said. And I also love what you pointed out. Just be yourself and recognize the good. I so love how you express that, and that there's so much truth to that. So yes.
So much. There is, because you just go, once you start unpacking and start taking a moment, so it's permission for yourself to stop and take a moment and turn inward, and a lot of people, that's the uncomfortable part. But once you start doing that, you'll just be so surprised by, most people, I believe, are actually really lovely. They're doing lovely things. They're helping someone at a supermarket with their bags. They're, they're asking someone if they're lost, can I help you? They're lovingly after their family. There's a million things that you're doing that you might have went, oh, well, I haven't assigned any value on that, but they are so valuable, because they make you such a rich person, a unique person on this planet. And like it could be that terrible circumstance, that accident, that moment that shifted your life, at some stage can be used for the good for other people, like what you're doing now. So you've then become an entrepreneur, which is just huge. You've navigated your own unique journey, because there's no roadmap anyway, really. But you've had a very, unique journey, because it's obviously taken probably more time, if that's all right to say, on that journey of exploration. And what do you want to be known for? What will your legacy be? How can you best help others? Have there been any specific insights or lessons that you have learned along the way?
Oh, many, many lessons. Yes. Again, a great question. I have learned how important it is to believe in ourselves, and that there is every reason to believe in ourselves. This is such a strong impetus to help raise that confidence and that sense of empowerment. So when we can really believe in ourselves, for example, taking a look at that list of things we can acknowledge ourselves for, just embrace it and know it to be true. Believe it. Let that build up and have a cumulative effect of all the positive, like you said, all the different things that we do and the good that we do. No, it is so okay, and it's necessary to believe in ourselves. That is key. And another insight is, as far as building a business, yes, having confidence in my skills, knowing I have good to offer. Others have good to offer me. I am not any better or worse than any others. I am simply showing up in an authentic way so I can give my skills, give my gifts to others. So again, just knowing ourselves, living authentically, to me has been a great insight on how can I show up? How can I best be of service? And another insight I've had is the awareness of knowing myself well enough. Well, what are my gifts? What am I passionate about? What are my values? And in that, I can actually be more authentic. So when I know myself well enough, I can live more authentically and also be true to myself. So these are some of the great insights I've gained over the many years of my journey. And all of this beautifully weaves into having our own business or not. It weaves into our lives anyway. I feel it is especially supportive and empowering, though, for our own business as an entrepreneur, to live in a place of authenticity, know ourselves well enough, be in that place of empowerment, showing up and recognizing the good that we can give to others from a place of heart. Oh, yeah, that's another insight as I'm rambling on. Coming from heart as much as we can. Use the brain, yes, as an assistance, but the true power comes from heart.
Totally resonate with that. I always say my heart is my compass, right? Because for me, it's just my head goes and plans out lots of things, and then I get struck. And if I tune into my heart, it's just this pull of, you know what, Anna, you really do, love something more, or you want something more, or something's more important. And once you explore that, and then, you've obviously got to back it up with a plan. But relate with that. And I love the way you've shared that, on a business show, really, because these points are critical. Once the mechanics of running a business that we might speak about on other episodes of this podcast, are absolutely important, but it's starting with self. And there's a real aspect I'm hearing of self-responsibility and self-awareness. And avoiding the victim mindset and taking ownership of, okay, well, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to start my business. I'm going to live that best life. And so with that means I can no longer, while I'm being overwhelmed with low self-esteem and shame and feeling a victim or feeling that I have no worth, I'm actually robbing myself and everybody else who's going to benefit from my abilities and what I have to offer. And so I really feel that your mindset at this stage is so crucial in your own life. And you must spend a lot of time guiding other people, because we'll all have to approach that in our own way. There's once again no exact formula for it, but it's definitely changing that mindset to be very, have real ownership. I call it being CEO of your own life. And you go, righto, you can't blame anyone else. You are in control here, right? So, like it or lump it, it's easier sometimes when you blame others. And maybe they, deep down you think, well, I still do blame them, but you can disassociate that and say, but you are in charge of yourself now and for your future.
Oh, it's so, so true. And it's so empowering to know that we can make choice and that we are not a victim. And like you said, the powerful word mindset. What is my mindset? And as I think about it with what you just shared, another insight I've had is how powerful it is to create intentions. Intention is a very powerful way to deal with the mind, with the mindset. Very powerful that we can create a successful business through intention. And what are my values in life? What are my values? What do I want to offer my clients? How do I want to show up to be the best in high excellence as much as I can? And what are my beliefs? And I truly believe the foundation to all of this is having that great sense of confidence and belief in ourselves. And that helps to catapult us into offering the services in the best way that we can. And to also look for, well, how can I improve? Yes, I'm feeling like my business is going well. It seems like a well-oiled machine. And yet, what else can I do? Because we're always in expansion, right? The universe and our individual lives are all about expansion and growth. And so how can I expand and how can I improve even more? So there's a lot.
There's so much there. And what I'm hearing from you is that confidence for you is the key to success. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. Confidence, I would say, is maybe even confidence is number one, but also self-responsibility and self-awareness, I think, is right up there as well.
So when you actually start getting into that mindset and go, right, I'm going to have to lean in, I'm going to have to learn about this whole confidence thing. I've been not confident for too long. I've really got to embrace it and start going on that journey, which I'm hoping all of our listeners, we're all wanting to become more self-empowered, more confident, to be able to be bringing out the best of us. And that's not a selfish thing, everyone listening in. It's not selfish to be having this conversation. You're actually, the stronger you are, the more enabled you are, seriously, the more benefit everybody around you gets, receives. So we don't need to think of this, it's it's not even a luxury, it's an essential ingredient to be able to show up this way. So, and it's going to then start changing a lot of their personal life, but it's also going to change their professional endeavors, right? Because it's then suddenly, once you get yourself centered and feeling more confident and balanced, then all those other opportunities will become easier, don't you find?
Oh, gosh, yes. Again, I love how you express, Annie. As we can be in that place of empowerment and confidence and have a certain flow, I find that my life has gotten better, my business has gotten better as I relax and go with the flow and go with my intuition, my empowerment, my sense of confidence, my sense of service. Things flow easier in my life as well. I will also say a large reason for that is also coming from heart. It's not all the mechanical thinking and planning. Yes, it's important, but it's more the heart and getting the flow. Some people call it spirit or the universe or whatever we may call it, but the flow of life that comes through us that allows us to then just be like a boat on a river where steering down, we're on the river, we know where we're going, we're confident, we're offering our gifts and skills and going with the flow with it.
I love that. I love that analogy. I often think of that because I'm in Sydney, Australia, near the beach. So I often think of it like surfing the wave. You know, you just got to go with the wave. You've got to feel the current. You just got to, while you resist it, you're going to end up smashed and exhausted and bruised. It's like, no, just learn how to ride the wave. But with that comes also, it's not always easy because that wave might be going, you don't want to continue it on. You want to finish it and then recenter. So there's a lot in a business about organization, right? We've got to have a lot of organizational structure. We've got to have focus. We've got to have discipline. And these are essential ingredients to any successful business. So while there's a real art there, I see it as a real delicate dance of being organized enough that, you've got your strategy, you've got your framework, you've got what you're trying to achieve, what other people will receive, and the mechanics of your business. And then your ability to be, in that business, in that flow, to be able to ride out easier the challenges when they surface.
Oh, yes, that's such an important component of the business. Yes, to be organized and to be disciplined, and also at the same time to recognize, honor that maybe there's times we need to be flexible. For myself, it's listening to the intuition, which can show up in many different ways. Sometimes, often we will get messages from our body feeling tense or not right about something, or something's a little fishy. Let that be an insight to help us in making a decision. Or something else where we're feeling really excited and our body feels alive, or someone we have met that has to do with our business. How do we feel about them? So one key for me is to listen to intuition, to remember to listen to my body. And how am I really feeling? Do I have a knot in my stomach? Or maybe there's mind chatter. Is that true heads up that maybe this is not the path to go down? Or let's be honest, sometimes the mind chatter is simply doubt in our ability to make a decision, or scared. So getting to know ourselves better, delving into that area within ourselves of, if we can know ourselves well enough to really understand, well, maybe that's that continual talking and doubt really is something, or is it fear? So how do we know? Well, we can experiment, we can experience over time how that all happens. So again, those type of experiences we can build upon to see. Last time I felt that knot in my stomach, and I listened to it, I made the right decision not to go with that with my business. So that's a key component, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we'll all do that in different ways. Some people it's just, actually just meditating and time out and see what surfaces, what noise surfaces and getting that reflection. I'm a bit more hyperactive. I actually find that out in nature. I go hiking, and then when I'm there out on a trail, I go, oh, all of a sudden I tune out to all the other things. It must just be my calm place, my happy place.
Beautiful.
So I think it's finding that for ourselves of, making sure that we just prioritize amongst the busyness and the organization, all these things that you do. We're all juggling so many balls, but how important, there's so much value in just taking that little bit of time out to then just really reflect on, that's right, what is your mind saying? What did it used to say? And acknowledging how far you've come. It's like, I know you. Oh, I don't get as stressed. I still get a bit stressed. What am I going to do about that? Until the point of, oh gosh, I haven't thought about that for a while. I'm going to give myself a big tick there. And dealing with something else. We'll always be on a journey of self-evolution, self-discovery. So it's a great thing. I have loved our conversation today, Kate. It's been really interesting. I'm just feeling your zen. I'm feeling your calm. So thank you for sharing that with us all.
Oh, thank you. It comes through naturally. I've been told that many times. Glad that you feel it and experience it. Thank you. This has been incredible. I love our conversation as well, and your insights as well. So good information here.
Thank you so much. And thank you to our listeners. We value you so much. Thank you for tuning in on all of your platforms. Some of you are watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live. Others are just tuning in your cars via Spotify, Google Play, whatever platform it is. We really appreciate you listening in, but we also appreciate your comments. So drop us a review, drop us a question. We will definitely follow you up. It's all about engaging. You can engage with either of us via my platform, womensbizglobal.com. Just reach out and ask a question. I will be able to put you in touch with Kate if your question is specifically aligned to her. So I look forward to seeing you next week, everybody. And thank you so much for being on the show, Kate.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Women's Biz Podcast. I'm Annie Gibbins, founder and CEO of Women's Biz Global. And if you would like to fast track your future success, pop on over to womensbizglobal.com, where you can find out how our coaching, media and publishing opportunities are helping women just like you to become and be seen as the trusted authorities in their niche. Inquire today and start reining in the abundance you desire.